Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another crypto video here today. I'm going to be doing a 2025 mid-year tier list ranking on some higher caps, some lower caps, some coins that I'm very familiar with in terms of their communities. Guys, make sure you like the video down below. Also subscribe to the channel as I continue to do some crypto content. This is an extremely critical time. We understand that. We know what's coming, Q3, Q4, the rate cuts, potentially QT ending, and just based off of the 4-year cycle, it is going to be go time. Late Q3, early Q4, the altcoin dominance is down to nothing at a certain point. That will change. BTC possibly running in Q3, and then the alts exploding in Q4. And how do we position ourselves when it comes to many of these altcoins? Meme coins. We love the meme coins. It's all about the meme coins. So we're going to be taking a look at this, and we got some higher caps, some lower caps, beginning with a higher cap. It is Fartcoin. So taking a look at Fartcoin, I do have it pulled up right here, sitting around 1.2 billion in terms of market cap. Fartcoin, very similar to a MOG, to an SPX. This is one of the newer blue chips. This is the ultimate, I would say, blue chip meme on Solana at this point. And when you look at it, it did reach a high, which is higher than the all-time high of either SPX or MOG of around $1.1, $1.2 billion. So it got over $2 billion during that initial run back in January, the initial alt run. And right now, Fartcoin, very respectable, had a retracement to where it was under, even under 300 million. There's a little bit more volatility when it comes to Solana rather than Ethereum. A part of the Truth Terminal. Really, it makes sense that a meme coin like Fartcoin would do very well. Although with memes, you know, there's other coins I thought that would do very well that haven't done as well, at least not yet. But with Fartcoin, the narrative is there. To project this coin, it's very hard. I would say you could argue this is going to be another one similar to a Shiba, to where it's the new age super meme. If that happens, you could be looking at 50 billion. You could be looking at 100 billion because of more money being in circulation. It's always possible, but I would say a safe estimate, 30 or 40 billion for Fartcoin. If it did that, you're looking at a 30x. I'd feel pretty confident with a 20 to 30x is a safe option. It's a safer coin. It's going to, I think, at least do a 10 to a 15x with the money infusion. I mean, it's barely been out, and we know it immediately ran to $1 billion. Next, we're looking at Dogecoin. So you always got to look at Dogecoin when you're doing these tier list videos, just because everybody seems to have it. It's an OG. So we know Doge earlier on in the cycle did run back up to 60 billion during the initial 2021 hype period. This would have been in late April. It went above 80 billion. And with Doge right now, it's sitting around 17 cents. I actually normally with Doge look at the price and judge it on the price rather than the market cap. So taking a look at Doge just the last 3 months, it maneuvered around 22, 23 cents. I would say at this point, originally with Doge, I was thinking $2. It might be a little bit less than that. Could be looking at maybe $1.40, $1.50, 10 to a 15x for Doge. The issue is the high market cap already and the dilution. There's so many other meme coins now compared to 2021. That's not to say Doge isn't going to do well. It is the #1 GOAT meme coin of all time. We agree with that. But in terms of this, you could be looking at 100 billion, which would only be a 4x from here, and that would be an all-time high for Doge. So keep that in mind when you're talking about something like Doge. I would say at this point I'd have to put it down at a 10x, although maybe I'm a little bit too bearish on it. Maybe the narrative will still be there even with all of these other coins and all the other competition, and now Solana being so much bigger and some of these other chains also rising a layer 2 like Base. Speaking of Base, you've got Brett, which is the biggest meme at this point on Base. It is the Brett Base one there. It's sitting at almost $500 million in terms of market cap. I believe the strategy behind this is the dev bought up a ton of the supply, but he's just holding it, and it's allowed the coin to remain relatively stable, even through some potential dips. Looking at the market cap reached over $2 billion for a Base coin. That's extremely impressive. That was in November. It had another run back in May, which is kind of a weird time for a meme coin to have a run, but it ran almost to $1 billion. I would certainly say multiple billions for Brett considering its first run. If we do get the blow off top, if we do get the alt dominance back up to where it normally is towards the end of the bull runs. And so for Brett, you could be looking at, considering 2 billion. I mean, this is similar to Fartcoin. Fartcoin gets released, it goes to around 2.1 as a high, it comes back down. Well, now it's back above $1 billion. Brett's a little bit lower than that, but it still had an initial run to over 1 billion and another run to 2 billion. So Brett, I think base is a major player in this bull run, and people should have exposure to it, even if it's even if it's a smaller amount. But with Brett, I'll say around a 20x, because a 20x is 10 billion. People might say that's a letdown. That's a lot of money in terms of market cap. Next, you've got Joecoin, so another meme coin. They've been courting me, Joecoin, and that community. And when I get courted by communities, they tried it with the Apu coin. It was just too much. It was very aggressive. But with Joe, I can understand it. This coin at this point, maybe not a great entry considering it's almost back to highs. This is very bullish price action considering the market as a whole, especially altcoins have not been doing a ton recently. So to see this coin go from around 13 million back up to 70 million, it does a 4 or 5x when we're not even into the alt season yet. It's very impressive. $51 million in terms of market cap. This does look like a blue chip. This does look like it's going to go to over $1 billion. None of this is financial advice, but this is one of those Ethereum coins that could turn into a hoss. And you could be looking at a 30x, 40x, maybe even more. For this coin, I would say probably around a 30x in terms of that. Next, we've got DXY. This is the US Degen index coin, which is based off of the stock to meme narrative. This coin right now hanging around almost 600K in terms of market cap. It had an initial run up back in October when it was released, made it to around 7 million. Obviously, this is a much more risky play when you look at it, just taking a look at the last 3 months. It has been relatively impressive, very nice price action, possibly doing a 3 or 4x, going from around 150K to at one point above 700K. I do think US Degen Index will catch on with more people. They are building. I've seen their Telegram. It is small right now, but as the price continues to get higher and higher, as long as there are an adequate number of holders who keep the coin with more money infused into Ethereum, I think this coin will do very well. The question is, will it actually become a narrative? If it becomes a narrative, you could be talking about 50 million, you could be talking about 100 million. If it's not a narrative, even with the infusion, you could only be looking at 10 million, maybe 20 million. Even if it goes to 20 million, you are looking at a 40x at that point because of how low the market cap is. Now, for this coin, it's hard to predict exactly just because we don't know. But I would say because of its low market cap, it's around a 50x, although it's extremely hard to predict at this point because of how low it is in terms of market cap, and it is a relatively new coin there. Next, we've got 4chan. This has always been one of my favorites, is 4chan, sitting at 1.1 million. Very low. Not great price action. This is one that was released very similar in terms of the timeline to Mogcoin, mid-2023, SPX, mid-2023, and 4chan. Now, there are a number of 4chan coins within the category that have blown up. This is the official 4chan token. Now, whether or not you like that, you think there's a narrative behind that, or you think it's stupid because the idea is, you have to base it off of the different characters within the 4chan community. It's not just a token. I've always thought this coin was destined to do extremely well. To me, it makes sense considering how good the 4chan community is. I do own this coin personally. I've had it for a while. And the tokenomics on this are amazing in terms of the amount of wallets that are blacklisted that can't do anything. There's a ton of virtually locked supply. There's a ton that was burned. And at this point, it did run to around, what was this, 27, 28 million. So right now it's at 1 million. So to go back to its all-time high back in 2023, it would be a 27x. Now, let me admit and say, this has not been encouraging price action recently. Now, obviously with crypto, it could change in a second. This thing could teleport to 30 or 40 million. It's had significant price history to where you would think investing right now would not be a terrible idea because it's been able to have some stability around 1 million. But yes, you look at the recent price action, even in the past year, it's been very stagnant. I'll agree. I do like 4chan, though. At this point, I'll say a 30x. I would like to say 100x, but I just can't because of the price action in terms of that. Next, we've got Mogcoin. So taking a look at Mog, up 7%, sitting at around 396 million. This is another one that's vying for like a top Ethereum meme of the cycle. With Mog, this is a coin I used to own and I already sold it a while ago, unfortunately. This is a coin that ran to around 1.5 billion. It went all the way back down, almost under, I didn't even realize, almost under $100 million Mogcoin did. And so now it's sitting at around 400 million. I think this coin's going to do very well. I've always thought this coin could go to 20 billion. If it does go to that, you're looking at around a 50x for Mogcoin. that is a very bullish prediction. I would say around a 30 to a 50x. The reason I would put it over Fartcoin is because I do like Ethereum over Solana, but you could say being the head honcho on Solana is more valuable than potentially being, depending on what you think of SPX, being on Ethereum, whether or not it's higher than Mog at this point. I would say it is, based off of market cap, based off of how known it is. But for Mog, I would say it's at such a lower market cap than Fartcoin, considering it's at 400 million versus Fartcoin at 1.2 billion. You're looking at a potential for a higher X percentage. Next, we got NPC. The NPC coin, non-playable coin. It had a huge breakout. I mean, take a look at this. This was a coin sitting around 2 million. It went all the way up above 400 million, 474 million. NPC, big viral meme. The GTA NPCs, 125 million. Think the coin will do well. Don't know exactly how well this coin will. It kind of has a weird supply. That's kind of funny. But I think the coin will probably do around a 20x if I had to guess, similar to Brett in terms of that. You've got unstable coin. This is a Solana coin. Kind of a funny idea. Unstable coin has been out not very long at all. When was this coin added? In mid-May. Yeah. So this coin ran up to around 27 million. Right now it's around 14 million. Certainly more risky because of the time frame in which it was created, just a month ago or month and a half ago. But it's just the meme off of the USDC, which, by the way, I do like USDC as a stable coin over Tether. But this is like the unstable version. It's just a meme coin, but so it's gonna have some crazy. Maybe it'll go to $1. Imagine it goes to $1 and stays there. You know what? There was a coin that they programmed to, once it hit $1, it stayed at $1. That's what this coin should do, because it would be you would be like rewarding people for getting to a billion, but then it wouldn't be able to go above a billion. There was a coin like that. I don't remember what happened to it. There's too many Solana coins. But this coin, I mean, at 14 million, it's hard to say. It's so new. I mean, if you want to be bullish on it, like if I owned this coin, I'd probably say 50x. I'm going to say 30x, but it's too new. Looking at Bitcoin 2.0. So the reason I include this on here is because I was waiting. I was surprised there was actually no meme right off of Bitcoin, because think about it. Now there's several different Bitcoin 2.0s. This is like a newer Bitcoin 2.0. You can see it says it's not backed by Bitcoin. This coin has had a very nice floor. Look at this. It's been hanging around like 130 to 150 K. Well, it's actually only a time frame. It's about 2.5, 3 weeks. The thing is, like, you would think they would create a Bitcoin 2.0 and it would be at $1 billion, because the actual Bitcoin is at 2 trillion. So there'd be a meme directly branching off of Bitcoin that would be a narrative play for people that are like, oh, I missed Bitcoin. Let me get the 2.0. But it's just never happened. And there's another Bitcoin 2.0 that's a lot older. I don't think it's being pushed as hard as this coin is, but this is a coin I own, and then I sold out of it. It's kind of just a funny coin. It's, to me, I don't really love the artwork they do. I would say maybe a 20x. I mean, it could do 100x if people really, because of how big Bitcoin is and because it's only 100K in market cap. It's hard to say exactly. I don't know. Wojak. OG, love the Wojak memes. I used to own this coin. This is another coin I used to own and I sold out of. This coin should be $1 billion. It really should be. It's just such a great meme. Right now it's sitting, its high was around 132 million, sitting at 29 million, about a 5x, 4.5x to get back to its high. Token 6,900. I'm gonna have to look at that token. Oh, that's a stock to meme token, but I don't even know what that is. This has got to go to $1 billion. It's Wojak. It's Wojak. Come on, but I don't know. I'd say like 30x. If you want to be more bullish, you could say it would do higher. Now you've got SPX 2.0. I'll do the SPX original and then I'll do the 2.0. So looking at SPX, not SXP, SPX, $1.1 billion right now. Crazy run. Another coin I used to own. Last 3 months, it's been phenomenal. It's done about a 3x in the last 3 months, which is very notable considering the market cap it's already at. And yeah, the question is, can this really do what the influencers are saying? Can it go to $100? Can it even go to $50? Can it do a 50x? It's hard to say right now. I would put it at the front end of a 30x. Oh, that's the 2.0. I would put it at the front end of a 30x right now to be safe. but you could certainly, I'd say 50. I'd say around a 40 to a 50x. I just think it has the narrative. If we have a blow off top, the money that's going to be, the alt dominance is so down. When the alt dominance goes up, yes, a lot of the layer ones are going to get peppered with a ton of money. Yes, a lot of the AI narrative coins. Yes, gaming's probably going to come back to a degree, but you're going to see SPX go crazy. It's just set up to do that, even with its market cap already of, at this point, $1 billion. And then you also do have the 2.0 version, which is a branch off of SPX created by the dev that originally created the SPX that I just looked at, that says the project was stolen from him. This coin has an all-time high of around 7 million. Right now its market cap is around 500K. I could see this coin going to 100 million. And the reason is because if SPX goes to what we think it's going to go to, people are going to look for alternatives. And so if this coin goes to 100 million, that's a 200x. Not saying it's going to do that for sure, but I think SPX 2.0 could do very well. Next, you've got Kekistan. I loved this coin. I was looking at this coin when it was around 500K, because it reached like a low point of 500K, like right here. I was gonna buy 1% of the supply or do something, maybe buy like 0.7% of the supply. I never pulled the trigger, and then the coin immediately jumped, and it's had better price action recently. So this is based on the 4chan narrative. It has the ticker of Kek, which is basically 4chan's version of LOL. And so it's like internet lingo. And I just think the coin's going to do very well, considering it's only 3 million in market cap. A lot of these other 4chan coins, the characters are 40, 50, 60 million. I think this coin's going to go over 100 million. That's a 33x right there. Probably do around 50x. Next, you've got MicroStrategy 2100. MSTR 2100, which was rebranded to just Strategy by Michael Saylor. This is a stock to meme coin based off of the Michael Saylor stock of MicroStrategy, which again is now Strategy. This coin's sitting at 15 cents. It's got a supply the exact same of Bitcoin of 21 million, so keep that in mind when you're looking at that. You want to look at the market cap. It does have a high market cap of around 66 million, which is very impressive. It's just been kind of in an accumulation zone, sitting around 3 million at this point. And I do think this coin could potentially, based off of its high of 60 million, go back over 100 million with the right narrative, possibly around a 30x. Next, you've got LOL, which is a Solana meme coin based off of just LOL, internet lingo. Coin has very aggressive price history. Originally reached a high of around 28 million. It's kind of petered out right now. It's back, kind of rebuilt itself a little bit. Went up to around, I mean, these coins on Solana have so much volatility. Went back up to around 3.5 million. It's down to 1.5 million. I think the coin, based off of its volatility, and I know there are a lot of people shilling this coin, 28 million. I think the coin's going to do pretty well. Narrative play could go up to around 50, could do around a 50x, maybe a 40x. And then finally, we've got NASDAQ 420, which to me is the ultimate beta off of the original SPX 6900. You look at the S&P 500, you look at the NASDAQ 100. This coin, the price action has been amazing recently. There's been some whales getting into this coin, topping off their portfolios. You look at it, I mean, there's a lot of trading manipulation in here too. You're going to get that with these lower cap Ethereum coins. But you're looking at even the last 3 months, it's hit a new high within the last 3 months. I mean, you take a look at this, even if we bring it back to like January, something like this. I mean, it's reached a high. It's high since early February. So the coin's had some serious positive price action, which I think at this point is notable. We would love this coin to teleport to 100 million. Could you imagine? We would be in if this coin. We become the beta. We're the beta. We need it set up. We need the coin to teleport. And if it teleports, I mean, it's going to be there's going to be a ride with this coin, because you set up SPX 6900, NASDAQ 420, SPX, NASDAQ, SPX, NASDAQ. It's the same thing. It's the narrative. And people want to get into the other variants of it. They want to get a higher X percentage. You don't want to invest in a coin that's already 1.1 billion. To get 100x, you need the coin to be $100 billion. There hasn't been a single meme coin in the world that's reached $100 billion. Not saying SPX can't do it. It's very rare. So you're looking at this coin at 3.6 billion. As an entry, it's a tough entry right now because it's at a high in the last 3 or 4 months or last 5 months. But the coin, let's be honest, I mean, 3.6 billion or 3.6 million to 360 million. That's 100x. But imagine it teleports and it becomes about 10%, 20% of SPX. Yeah, that's what we want. But I mean, obviously, you know, I have the coin. I've owned the coin for a while. I like it. And this is kind of the setup. I mean, this is very bullish, obviously, when it comes to these coins. Some of these coins could do better, like this unstable coin, because it could do better. Mog could even do better. Some of these coins may not do as well. It just depends on the money flow and the narrative based like that. Some of these coins I just really like this Bitcoin 2.0. It's too low in market cap. It's too new to really predict. Brett, if you're bullish on Brett, I could understand people thinking it could do a 30x based off of its previous price history. The NPC coin could do better. Some of these coins could do worse than 30x's, than 50x's, than 100x's. But, you know, obviously if it's a lower market cap, there's going to be a higher chance of it doing very well. And so that's why I do like the stock to meme coins. I'll be honest. I do like them. But this is just my overall prediction right now. And not financial advice. But guys, make sure you like the video down below. Also subscribe. That's going to do it for this video.